So
in theory, I'm live. I gotta also bring up the...
In theory, I'm alive.
No, we're all inside the Matrix. According to multiple people. I got live chat. Hey, Cirque's got a puppy.
Hey! That's awesome.
Puppy. It says still waiting for me. Is it?
I have live.
Okay. Well, I've got the live notification. It just hasn't done anything yet on my end. There we go. It's doing something. There we go. Greetings. Stay a while and listen. Alright, Axis, can I sit down? I just want to sit down. This was my spot first. You can stay here. It was just my spot first. You don't own the couch. And you can go back. There you go. Per bucket. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. So, I'm going to play some Super Mario Bros. 3. Because
Woo!
I'm tired and I want something fun and lighthearted.
That's fair. That's entirely fair. Oh, I am glad your laptop is safe.
Yes. That is one thing about new animals. Like, just the adjustment period of learning their personality and trying to keep them,
Yeah.
somewhat reined in can be slightly difficult.
Yeah. In my Facebook memories today popped up a picture of Tybalt. And God, getting him to where he was when you met him was a
I was about to say,
journey.
I can only imagine what he was like.
Yeah. He ate through 4 crates.
He ate through one in the time since I met you.
Yep.
And that was a metal crate.
Yeah, 3 of them are metal. One of them was the indestructible concrete.
And you're like, I want my money back.
Yeah, basically.
How's everyone doing this fine feathered Wednesday? I don't know what I don't know what I'm saying half the time. I'm at least yes, going on the puppy pads is
That is excellent.
the right direction.
I didn't mean to pause this. I don't know how I did that. Come on. There we go. Now I'm back to live.
I'm back to life.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an Evanescence song.
Yeah. Someone did, in fact, bid my blood to run. I went to the thrift store on Saturday.
Only got $20 in your pocket.
Yeah, I managed to get three shirts and a tie for like $9. So, because I am trying to expand my church appropriate wardrobe. I need to work on the pants part now. And I was actually looking at some like organizational whatever. Almost bought a $20 file cabinet.
If you want a 3-rung file cabinet, I can steal one from work. I came into possession of 6 of them during our equipment move.
I might. But it went from... I don't know who of the staff was picking the music as they were closing up shop, but it went from ludicrous, What's Your Fantasy, to Evanescence, Bring Me to Life, and I was just like, hello, high school.
Did someone break
College?
into my iPod?
Basically.
My dinner is ribs and mashed potatoes. Oh god, I could go for some good ribs right about now. I have been seriously craving. There is I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before, there's a restaurant on Disney's campus.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
is run by one of the Iron Chefs. And the ribs were just... It was literally fall off the bone, but it also had like this fantastic caramelized like sear around it that was like, you bite into it and it just had a little bit of a crunch, just a little bit of a sugary, a hint of like a barbecue crunch, and then just ribs. And I'm like, oh my god, I want more of these. And I have just been downright craving ribs like that, because like I saw a whole bunch of things about, well, a bunch of stuff popped up in my memories the spring about my last trip to Florida, which that's when it was.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I gotta go. But then I kept getting targeted ads for Chili's baby back ribs. And like, let's face it, Chili's baby back ribs, they are the lowest rung of ribs. Like, welcome to Chili's. It's not the best food, but it never bills itself as the best food.
Yeah, no.
It's acceptable food.
It's where you go when you're out of town, but you want something familiar.
Yes.
Unless you're me and poor, and then it's McDonald's. Or a White Castle, depending on where I am.
I mean, you know, I've never actually been to a White Castle.
I know. I need to take you one. I just need to take y'all to Kentucky at some point.
Forgot that he turns completely orange in this.
Yeah, it's
The color palette.
I liked the red and white better.
Yeah. Now, where's the third whistle? Oh Lord, no! I've got to fight a hammer brother.
No, I haven't had. Well, the last time I had ribs, I made them.
Is there like a good ribs place around here?
I don't know.
Like there used to be. There used to be a fantastic. There was a place in Chapel Hill called Red Hot and Blue.
Hey, Ben.
Ben, welcome. It was delicious. Like, that's all I got there was the ribs. And this is when I was a kid and did not appreciate ribs. And it was just like, no, this is fantastic.
We still need to do the barbecue place again since they bailed.
I've been keeping, I'm keeping tabs on them because I'm psychotic like that. Right now, they've got... I had one that was somewhat nearby. And now, Thursday they're at Bull City Cider Works on the 20th of June. So not like this Thursday.
Oh, well,
But, like-
it wouldn't matter anyway, because, well, once we get into summer choir, we're not having Thursday night practices, so I just don't know when summer choir starts.
No. Apparently, July 25th, they're going to be at the Northgate Rodeo. But I also don't trust it that far out because that was the last time I saw it. And it's like, they tend... There's a food truck that I just fucking love.
It's really good.
Aaron and I will not speed run this game. One, I thought about doing a speed run for charity years ago. I was looking at playing Nights into Dreams on the Saturn because there are a couple of speed run strategies for that, but no one has really done it. And so I was looking at it like, oh, I could do this. I could be the first person to speed run this, and we were going to do it for charity because there's a bunch of charity live stream events and we could piggyback off that. But lo and behold, everything life-wise fell apart shortly after that.
I can't imagine what you're talking about.
No idea.
Oh, Penn said it's in World 2.
It's in World 2. I thought, I know it's not here, because I'm like, it's not in any of these worlds that I recognize.
Yeah, I don't know. We should do a charity stream at some point.
I kind of want to do another charity show. I just don't think I could do a speed run.
Well, no.
Because the last major charity stream that I did was we went through all of Chrono Trigger. We didn't go through all of Chrono Trigger, but we went through Chrono Trigger in a day. We beat Chrono Trigger in like a little over 12 hours, which is not speed running by any, because I think like the speed run is like 5.5 hours, maybe 6. Like it's something, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. That is too much. I've spent the last 5 days down the 1,000-year door. I'm waiting on my copy to arrive. Mine was delayed. I did get my copy of Yuden Chronicles. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's on the shelf there. The Yudes. It's the Suikoden spiritual successor. I've heard that there are massive problems on the Switch version in terms of crashing or slowdown. And so, like, I'm not expecting to play it anytime soon until they are saying that there's a patch coming out next month for it to kind of fix it. But I'm waiting on my copy of 1,000-Year Door. And there was another game that I pre-ordered recently, and I don't remember what it is. Use a hammer from a boomerang bro to reach the secret. That's right, yeah. Okay. I was thinking there was... my mind, I was going to... It's the lock there, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really concerned by this world. Those trees that are dancing and have faces.
Mm-hmm.
I also do love that the king is a dog.
Yeah.
And I do love that Toad is losing his mind. He's just
I mean, that's kind of Toad, though.
So there is a very strong debate in gaming communities as to which Mario game is better. This or Mario World on the Super Nintendo. Because they both came out fairly close together, and they utilize very different, like, game mechanics. What are your thoughts?
I don't know that I've actually played World. So my default is 3.
I have played both. I mean, pretty extensively, obviously. But I don't know. I can't say one's better than the other. Because, like, one, you're judging a 16-bit game versus an 8-bit game. So, like, obviously the graphics in Mario World are going to be better. There's more interesting branching pathways because it's like, oh, you beat a level and one exit, it opens up something else. There's things that open up. And, like, the game, but the problem is the game doesn't tell you that. And I don't remember ever having a manual to the game to be like, oh, if you beat a level and the level marker stays red, then you need to go back and check for other, like, I don't remember seeing anything like that.
Yeah.
And, like, okay, that's neat. There's a lot of stuff to it, but, like, I really am just genuinely impressed with what Mario 3 was able to pump out on a Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, there's such different games. It's apples to oranges. That's exactly, like, I can't, like, yes, they're both Mario platformer adventures, and that's about it. They are very different, like, flavors of games. Like, I remember, you know, being a kid thinking, holy crap, the NES is amazing, and then seeing the 16-bit revolution and watching, like, what companies were, goddamn, I forgot Hugh Response. What they were able to do with a lot of the technology they had. Thinking, okay, this is great, and then suddenly the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo are out. It's like, oh my god, this is even better. But then seeing, oh yeah, what they did on an 8-bit console,
Yeah.
is like, I kind of want to meet the people who programmed this and be like, well done. I pick a card, any card. It's basically just a match game.
Yeah. I have a hard time explaining my strategy, so.
Oh, I have no strategy with those. Much like I have no strategy with this. Someone did a thing showing the statistics of winning this because of how everything. Apparently, it's like less than a 1% chance that you'll make a match. Like, the game is just that little.
Wow.
You know, slots game is just
I've done it twice.
so broken.
Granted, that's twice in 41 years, but I've done it twice.
I can't say I have ever done it. But, I'm also not entirely sure. I thought that I needed to keep track of that as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I didn't have a whole lot of access to, like, any sort of video gaming anything growing up. Well, at least to a certain point. My experience was only the Atari. And then Missy and I saved up half of the cost of a Nintendo. And so that was my jump, was from Atari to Nintendo. And I was like, wow.
So we never owned a Nintendo. My next door neighbor did. and I played his often. We had an Atari 7800, and Dad had an Atari 2600, but I think he got rid of it when we got the 7800 because the 78 would play the 2600 games. And my brother got a TurboGrafx, which was a 16-bit console, but it was not a good 16-bit console. So, like, I was not, super impressed with, like, that jump.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember seeing, like, I grew up in the you have to pick a side between Genesis or Nintendo. Like, it was like my elementary school's version of the Sharks versus the Jets. Like, you had to pick one. And I'm like,
I think where I spent the first chunk of my childhood, it was mostly just Nintendo, because it was.
Yeah.
It's just it. But once I moved up to Louisville, then it turned into, and I of course was a Nintendo loyalist, and
here we are.
what are you gonna do?
Like, I got a Genesis, and, like, I became a Sega kid. I was the only person in my neighborhood that had a non-Nintendo console for the longest time. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna play this and enjoy it to my heart's content, because, like, I've got these kick-ass games that I want to play. And, like, both of my next-door neighbors had, one had a Nintendo, one had a Super Nintendo, and a Nintendo. And they all thought they were hot shit until Mortal Kombat came out. Because the first Mortal Kombat game was censored on the Super Nintendo. They would not allow blood or graphic fatalities. Whereas Sega was like, bring the blood!
Yeah, I don't think I had ever played Mortal Kombat until hanging out with you. I did play Killer Instinct for a little bit.
Oh god, Killer Instinct was... I don't think I have it down here. My next door neighbor, who was my best friend for many years growing up, he had the Super Nintendo, he got Killer Instinct, and that game came with the soundtrack. It was a CD called Killer Cuts. And he gave it to me because he didn't have a CD player. I still have that CD.
That's amazing.
And there's like 3 songs on that still just fucking hold up. Like, this is just, it's, like, I would not be surprised if there's someone in the techno EDM scene that samples from that. Because it's just, that Killer Instinct had a soundtrack that was just like, yeah, I could beat someone's ass to this.
It really did. Like, yeah, some of those were absolute bangers.
And we've got Atelier and Ragnaroker in chat. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
But yeah, and then, like, so, like, I got a Genesis, and then I got a Saturn, because, again, I'm a Sega loyalist. And I was the only person that had Saturn, except for Will. Will eventually got a Saturn, and he and I bonded over that. And I got a Dreamcast when everyone else got a PS2. It's like, I always picked the wrong console, the one that was just going to die fast.
I think we had the original Nintendo, and then we had the Super NES, and that was it until freshman year of college, and I was playing on my roommate's old PlayStation 1. And then I don't think I played on any other console until the Xbox after that.
I remember I traded in my Dreamcast for a PS2. And that was back when I would still, trade in games. And these are things that I, deeply regret. Because I just end up rebuying these libraries again years later.
No, well, I'm glad you're able to pop in for a minute.
Who's popping out?
Ragnarok.
Oh, well. A hammer! And now I can get the other. Oh, you are just a dick. Attacking me while I'm at prayer, just like Pearl. It's from Toys.
Oh, God. Okay.
It's when Robin Williams was using all the old wind-up toys.
Yeah.
They were preparing them as their art. It was like, attacking us at prayer, just like Pearl. God.
Yeah. Boo. Yay.
The things I remember about this game.
Right.
I literally at work today, I was thinking there was something I need to place an order request for, and I don't remember what it is at the moment. But what was frustrating about it is I was up in our storage room thinking I need to place an order for this. As soon as I got downstairs, I forgot what it was, and I was telling Mike, I don't remember what it is that I needed to put an order for, and I'm mad about it. Because it was literally just not even 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. My brain has just been like that for a hot minute. And I can't remember. Oh, never mind, I do remember. It's like I can't remember what I did that was so fucking exhausting.
Frog suit!
Yeah, I love a frog suit. Surprise to no one.
And now I have 3 whistles.
So one of the sentences that Duo has me translating is, blowing into a flute isn't difficult.
Ladies.
It really does. It sounds like some sort of euphemism.
I do remember you bringing Pokemon Red to high school. I remember that. Got a PS2 at 17. It died in 2020. My Wii is still kicking. My original PS2 is still working. Bought a 2DS. I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 consoles hooked up, not including the doubles that I've got over here and upstairs. Or the consoles that I don't need, because technically I could get rid of my Wii. That sounds like I need to urinate. But, because I've got a Wii U, and the only reason why I kept the Wii is because it could play GameCube games, but I've modded my Wii U so I can play my GameCube games. I've got a PS2, so I don't have my PS1 hooked up, because my PS2 can play PS1 games. My PS3 can play PS1 games. I think the PS4 might be able to play PS1 games. I gotta find out. But, yeah, my birthday present this year was a PS5 because I just couldn't really bring myself to buy it myself because there wasn't enough games to be like, yeah, I need to spend $500 on this. That's a God damn it.
Aerodon said, just give me Dragon Force, you don't need it. It's exactly why I brought it up.
I went to Animazement, you bastard, and I found the Dragon Force soundtrack at Animazement. So, no, well, I probably could give you Dragon Force the physical copy because I've got my my Saturn has a GDEM, not GDEMU, has a Rhea. So, like, I don't need the physical discs anymore. But I'm not going to give you a $500 game.
Physical media is forever.
Buy
Buy Laserdisc. Oh God. So I'm... Once again, and I always need to preface it, I do not play well. But I play the bass. And I've been learning I've been on a Metallica kick lately. And the beginning of The Unforgiven, I have taken to, like, there's Lars doing his fucking thing, and I'm just sitting here like, bah, when the bell rings. And in my head, I'm going, Cochrane, good! Fire, bad.
Thank you for reminding me to check to see if my GameCube even turns on. It does. I would be very surprised. I remember watching something on G4 back when that was a network. You know, back when Olivia Munn was known for being on G4. They did a thing of... Yeah, but you have no idea what
I know what you're talking about because you've told me about it before.
Yeah.
And I remember G4 vaguely, but, like, it just was not where my energy was focused at the time.
So...
And I still don't really know Olivia Munn.
So, they did an episode of... I think it was the show that she was on, where they tested the durability of the consoles of that generation. So, the 3 consoles that they tested were a PS2, a GameCube, and an original Xbox. And they started off by dropping it off of a 6-foot ladder onto a concrete slab, and then an 8-foot ladder, and then they tried running it over. And surprisingly, the GameCube survived all 3 of these things.
Wow.
Well, fine. You should play Returnal on PS5. I haven't. I will look into that. Because I have 2 games on the PS5. I've got FF7 Rebirth, and I picked up the Alex Kidd in whatever World DX remake. Mostly I've been playing PS4 games on my PS5, like Fallout 4. And I need to pick up Final Fantasy 16, even though a lot of people disliked it. A lot of people had very harsh things to say about that. Much like, you know, in the beginning, the universe was created, and it was...
it was mostly considered a bad idea.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know, there's a lot of people that say some pretty rough stuff about me too, but I'm a delight.
I'm a delight. There was also a shockingly scant amount of Trash Panda art at this year's Animazement.
That's unfortunate.
the last couple of years, I was actually expecting to pick up a lot of stuff, because the last couple of years, I've picked up stuff, not necessarily in the dealer's room, but Artist Alley.
Yeah.
For, gifts. But this year, like I said, it was, It was slim pickings.
I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to try to go to
For Jim
Galaxy Con.
Sarah went to GalaxyCon last year and seemed to have a really good time.
I mean, I've been, and it was great, and that's how I have a picture of me and Skeletor. But, but COVID and also money, because the dealer's room is a problem.
Yeah, and I completely missed that because I looked down at chat, not remembering that, oh yeah, shit moves. Shit, I don't have a lot of stuff. 16 was not a traditional experience, and I get a lot of people were mad about that, but I kind of liked.
Why does everybody need everything to stay the same?
Well, so
growth.
I get some of the argument because the Final Fantasy franchise has moved away from a lot of RPG and just into action Souls-like kind of combat. And, there's a lot of games that are a dime a dozen for that. And so, I get it, but, and especially since Final Fantasy is also kind of taking advantage of the fact that they are a massive brand. So you had Stranger of Paradise, which was an action-based Final Fantasy games. If you want to make action-based Final Fantasy games, go ahead. But, keep the main numbered ones, at least somewhat RPG-esque.
Yeah.
I can kind of get that.
But if they delivered the same gameplay every time, everyone would be pissed about that too.
They would. And, since the early days of Final Fantasy, everything about the game, except for the fact that it was turn-based. Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 were all very similar in terms of, you had a wait meter that charged before your character could attack, or you had a turn order that you had to wait. 10 kind of changed it to where you still had a turn order, but you could see the turn order and things you did would affect the turn order. But then also the characters that weren't in your party could be swapped out in battle, which was a new thing. Every other Final Fantasy game changed fucking everything.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII, you had the materia system as your magic system, which means everyone was kind of everything. You didn't have... you could have a direct healer until Aerith died. Spoilers.
How dare you spoil that for me?
Because, everyone... The only thing everyone had that was unique to them was their limit attacks, which you got, 5 of.
Yeah.
There weren't enough to really distinguish you as someone different. So, you want this person to be a healer? Just put all your healing material on them. They are now your healer. Okay, can do that. And then 8 had the junction system, which was a thing. The junction system was you had to actually suck out magic from enemies during battle. There was an option in battle called draw, and you would draw out magic from them. And then you take those magic beams, I don't know. They never really explained what they were, but they were a limited quantity of things, and then you had to attach them to a god. And, saying this out loud just sounds like I'm having a bad fever dream. But, so, the traditional Final Fantasy summons, so you had, Ifrit and Shiva and Ram, these elemental beings.
Yeah.
They are the they were called Guardian Forces in 8, and you had to junction the spells that you had to a Guardian Force, and it would change your stats. But if you used the spells, the magic beans, the amount of junction would go down, meaning your stats would go down. So casting spells physically made you weaker until you spent more time drawing them. And so many people hated that because it's just like, okay, you're punishing us for using magic by making, like, because it wasn't just like, oh, you're out of MP, you need to buy a potion to get your MP back to cast the spells. It's all of your stats are now weaker. You are now becoming more useless.
It's almost like being a human and being exhausted when you expend effort.
But then people learned that you could greatly break the game if you have certain spells junctioned to certain Guardian Forces, and you become an unstoppable god. And so people started speedrunning by like, I'm going to junction 99 of this spell to Ifrit. My attack is now 9,999. Fuck you. I will end you. And that's what and so like everyone's like, oh, because no one thought to look how to break the game at the time. Like at the time Final Fantasy VIII came out, people were just now learning how you could break Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
By adding, like if you add this combination of materia together, you attack 16 times and inflict every negative status effect with each hit. And so people like, well, shit. I mean, so like no one thought to let's look and see what you could do with Final Fantasy VIII, because then shortly after Final Fantasy VIII came out, the Square was like, I think we may have overdid it with the super realistic looking like the main character's super emo. It's more sci-fi than fantasy. The second half of the game doesn't make any sense because the main character dies halfway through the game and they don't tell you. That's also another fun theory. And so they went to Final Fantasy IX, which was more cutesy, more fantasy aesthetic. Every person in the game, every character had a set class. So like the main character was a thief. He had a friend who was a black mage. And that one, instead of going for like super game break, like you could break some abilities by having a couple of abilities just do max damage very early on. There wasn't other ways that you could like super break the game. So instead, they just made the entire game talking about existential crises. The Black Mage is a mass-produced construct. Black Mages in this world are not living creatures. The ones that develop sentience are defective and are supposed to be destroyed. And so his whole tagline is, how do you prove we exist? Maybe we don't exist. That's his fucking tagline. And I'm sitting here as like a 15-year-old kid going, I'm not okay with thinking about reality like this.
You know, I hope there have been several academic papers discussing the themes.
There was a book that I actually kind of want to get. It was called Philosophy in Final Fantasy, talking about how the different games. And it was a very small book for what I was actually expecting.
Yeah.
How like certain games tackle certain things, but like I'm pretty sure you could get an academic to just do an entire paper on one game.
I mean, if my life had gone differently, I'd be happy to do it.
I mean, you could still do it now. Hey.
That is true. I am now a published academic writer, or coming soon.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Well, to an overpriced textbook dealer.
dealer.
I mean, honestly, though, that's kind of what it feels like. Artificially jumped up prices and...
And the first one's free.
You get like 3 free mechanical pencils with the purchase of $500 worth of books.
Hey, Marauder, you never actually posted your... Oh, the recommendation to upgrade GameCube HDMI cycle. Shit, I forgot about that. I did look it up. And now I don't... So the best one is super expensive. It is called the Eon Mark II, EON. It actually just plugs into your GameCube and turns your current AV port into an HDMI port, and it does the post-processing itself. But it is like $150. It's not cheap. There was one... that I don't know if it's still being made. It was called the Carby. But like, there's a whole bunch of like RCA to HDMI converters. I wouldn't go that route. Like, I would go something specifically for the GameCube. There's also one that I thought did post-processing. But now I don't remember what its name is. But that one may just be an HDMI upscaler. I know all about forgetting. I mean, I was telling Jess earlier, I feel like I've lost a week because I spent all week last week doing physical labor at work instead of like the stuff that I normally do. So God, I hate these fish.
Yeah, this is like never my favorite part at all.
So like, I did nothing that I normally do, and I just feel like I'm like, I wasn't off a week, but I wasn't doing my job for a week, so everything feels weird. Retro Prism, I've heard about them. I haven't looked into them. So if they look promising, another froggy suit. This is
unsurprisingly my favorite.
I should probably use the froggy suit because these are the levels that's... Oh god, these are the levels it's designed for.
Yes.
I hate that fish with a passion. Oh, fuck you. Well, I got ate by a fish. And I gotta fight a hammer brother. In the water? Just kill me. Just.
So about the froggy suit.
That's... Well, for one, I'm gonna do this, and... kill you with that. And I'm gonna get another hammer. And then I'm gonna froggy suit.
Turn into a little flea and put that flea in a box. And then I mail that box to myself. Now when it runs, I will smash it with a hammer.
He forgot that he does a little ribbit on the...
I mean, frogs were already my favorite animal when this came out, but like, this did not hurt at all.
I want to kill I want to kill the giant fish. Mario. Okay, fine. We won't kill the fish. We will just stay out of the water.
I just love your exasperated Mario, like, as a fucking child in the back seat, kicking the back of your...
You know what I feel like? I feel like Dan yelling at Aaron.
Yeah, that's fair.
I haven't heard of the Kaiko, so that one I can't say anything about. But I have heard about, I have heard Retro Prism. Like, that is... I got a thing!
Woo!
I didn't get a thing. I also forgot. I can leap over the fucking moon as the frog suit.
I'm 50 years old and I like to jump.
I can't run,
No.
but I can fucking hop. Fuck. Fuck you, Thwomp. And fuck you. Alright. Just ignore everything. This is probably not where I was about to say, this is probably not where I actually need to go. I also should not have survived that. Alright.
If only you were still a little froggy.
Let me see. I think I need to get into that door. There's an ice cream truck outside.
Yes, there is.
Playing Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh, that's okay. It'll switch over to, like...
Christmas music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so weird. Alright, so...
Like Oh Holy Night or something. I don't know.
Not that one.
So I'm hoping that we will find out soon when we're going to start rehearsals as a combined choir for a Christmas cantata.
Okay, okay, so those doors all lead to the same place. What the fuck? I hate this level. Like, both of those doors lead
To your doom.
and then these all just kind of lead to this. It's a shame I'm not a frogman. It's also a shame I can't leap up there. What's this? That's also another leaf. The sixth door. Okay. Let's take the sixth door. 1, 2, 3. Booze. 4, 5, 6.
I almost wore my I'm here for the booze shirt. Kind of wish I had now.
Are you gonna come back down anytime
Nope.
soon?
I always love the little. He's like doing the wave really fast by himself. It's amusing to me.
There's an episode of Super Mario Bros. 3 cartoon where Bowser was trying to conquer America as a birthday present for Wendy Koopa.
I don't think I saw that.
One LP Sonic Adventure, but the PC ports are poor. Yes, I was not impressed. Where does this take me? Probably nowhere useful. Yep, nowhere useful. But I can get to the boat. Oh, you son of a bitch. I was sliding down the hill. Like that. Come on, Mario. Build up momentum.
I do remember that. I do remember the Milli Vanilli.
The Milli Vanilli?
There's an episode of the cartoon that had Milli Vanilli.
Of the Mario cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
I must have missed that one.
Girl, you know it's true.
I don't remember that at all. I feel like that's a fever dream.
It was the late 80s and early 90s, you see.
God, do you remember when Bill Clinton went on Arsenio Hall and played the sax wearing sunglasses?
I watched that. I watched it with Mom. I've always had a very bad luck with sleep, so.
The 90s were a hell of a drug.
Woo, 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 woo.
Hell of a drug.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure were.
No, I want to use that so we can get to the boat, because the boat will let us do stuff.
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat!
Watch out for the orcas while you're out there, though.
Mario is not a rich man.
That's true.
He is a plumber.
That is not a yacht. It's a rowboat. In which case, watch out for the orcas. They might give you a hand. A little tow.
Yeah, now it's playing Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with an ice cream truck in the middle of summer playing Christmas carols.
Yeah, I can only assume that it is, one, because the Christmas carols are largely like, there's no licensing on them anymore. But also because kids will recognize it as a time they get candy. That's all I can figure.
Ooh, he's canning.
Ooh, he's candy.
The 90s were also kind of not great for comics because of speculative. The 90s weren't great for a lot of things, but they were a hell of a drug. Like,
Yeah. All of that is true. That is a wholly true statement.
like I don't think you could pay me to go back in time to relive the 90s.
Oh God, no.
Like, I part of me would be like, hell yeah. And the other part of me would be like, I don't know. I know what's coming.
Yeah. But oh, the freedom of knowing that Y2K wasn't gonna get you.
Oh god.
That sucked.
I got fucking yeeted.
you did.
That was... I just jumped straight in the fucking hole.
That's it. That's it, Cirque. That makes sense. There's like some dimensional portal that it falls through from Australia to here.
Who's what now?
The Christmas Carol ice cream truck could work in Australia. Like, it takes it from somewhere in Australia and deposits it here without, like, updating the music.
I still love the fact that Rupert Grint, is it Grint or Gent?
Grint.
Got
it. Ice cream.
Used his Harry Potter money to buy a fucking ice cream.
Well, not all of it, but...
No, but enough of it. Like, I find that to be an interesting and impressive endeavor. Yep. I knew it was only a matter of time before I hit a level where I was just gonna like, yeah. Time to suck. Do you have your daily allotment of suckage? If not, here you go. I probably should have tried to get that because I think a leaf would be somewhat helpful.
Nah. You know what you need? You need money.
I mean, yes.
It's true, I do. I'd be very glad to have some.
Hey, I got a one-up man back. Ha! I love how some of these levels are just incredibly short, and some of them are just like, hey, we're gonna be ball-crushingly difficult just for no reason. Have fun. I don't remember this stage at all. I remember those guys.
Yeah, I remember this stage. I remember hating
I remember
it.
that. I remember those guys who like to regurgitate giant spiked balls. Ooh, almost
Yeah.
went into the drink. I do remember this because it's a weird happy face.
Yep.
I don't remember what does. Turns off the face. Fine, I'll just damage boost through you then. And yep, I remember he was there. That I do remember.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
you're-
I'm out. There's no you're cool here.
I don't want to do a water castle, Mom. I might use the cloud to skip this level. Because nothing good comes from water levels. Being attacked by fucking Stridex pads of death. For most of you, you're too young to get that joke. For those of us who are past 40, for those of us who remember when this game came out,
Yeah. And who are currently dealing with perimenopausal cystic acne. I have very clear memory and wish.
I mean, I don't wish for Stridex pads back. Those were just...
Yeah, those are Noxzema pads. They were rough. So, oh, God. So, I had a music theory class in high school with this guy who was a germaphobe. Or borderline. But he was like obsessive about being clean. And he decided what really needed to happen was for him to clean his ass crack and his balls with Noxzema.
Oh, Lord, the pain.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he screamed. I don't doubt it. I would scream. I almost screamed in sympathy.
The phrase, you might feel a slight burning sensation. Oh, no. I don't want to... I'm going to skip this level with the cloud. No, I'm going to kill this fish. I'm not going to kill this fish, because those fucking...
I was about to say, okay, Ahab.
When this game... Yes, when this game came out, it had an actual theatrical movie advertising it. With Fred Savage.
Yeah.
You know, of Deadpool fame. Alright, what do I want to do? Fuck, I got 3 frog suits. I don't know why I have so many fucking frog suits, but...
Because they're awesome.
Ha! Ah! The problem is, he'll come back.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
know
but
he'll...
you'll have a few minutes of reprieve. Or seconds.
Could you not hurt me, you giant son of a bitch? Hit the P switch. There was the movie that ensured none of us would ever be able to take the Power Glove seriously. You know, you're not wrong. when you've got the biggest douche in the world going, it's the power glove. Just... no. No.
I don't like it.
Fine then. Take my frog suit. I'll take the bombs. Oh god, he's shitting out his children. I forgot about that.
Maybe it's not shitting out. Maybe it's like a possum and they're just falling off of the mama's back.
No, because there's an unyielding supply of them. I'm pretty sure.
You don't know about the reproductive cycle
Of the Goombas.
of the Goombas.
Actually,
Of the flying Goombas, especially.
since they are mushrooms, I'm betting he's shedding spores.
Okay, but he's also sentient, so... Or they, I guess. We don't really
Yeah,
know the gender of the...
And, you know,
Possibly parental, possibly
so plants...
bowel having. Goomba.
So plants still, reproduce through, XXXY zygotes. But I don't think fungus do they? I think their spores aren't necessarily have to be fertilized by another mushroom. So technically, all Goombas would just be they, them. Because all Goombas are fungus. Meaning they're all...
They're real fun guys. This is why you're friends with me.
So I think for the next bad movie that we need to watch together, we need to watch the original live-action Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, do we have to do something that bad?
Yes.
Okay, remind me to go to the liquor store first. I will need liquor for that.
Dad, I remember my dad took me to see that movie in the theater, and he didn't comment on it. The only thing he would say for like years after is, "There's a fungus among us," and he still says that to this day. He's like, nothing good came out of that movie, and I'm surprised Bob Hoskins still had a career afterwards, but...
Yeah, nothing good came out of that movie.
Bob Hoskins and Dustin Hoffman. Was it Dustin Hoffman? No, it wasn't Dustin Hoffman. Who was Bowser in that movie?
Oh, I don't know.
He was also a big name. Fuck, now I gotta look that up.
But I was John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo was Luigi.
Yeah. He was just going to be my contribution to the little Latin boy in a dress. Why are you crying?
Right now, everyone's saying it's Jack Black because he voiced like that's not him. All right, Super Mario Brothers movie, IMDb. Bob Hoskins, Dennis Hopper. It was Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Shit. I'd managed to block most of that movie out. I've only seen it the once.
That's all it takes.
And here you are, just digging shit up.
You got me once, Windy Koopa. But I still got your magic rod. Also,
Ladies.
I love how the Koopa kids steal these magic wands from the kings, and it turns them into an animal. And that's just fucking Mario with a cape.
It is. And a tan.
Did anyone ever see that one magazine ad for the Punisher PS2 game called Guns Don't Kill People, Quarter-Inch Holes in the Head Kill People? I don't remember that. But that does sound like it. Apparently
Wow, that sounds... Sorry.
What?
It's like...
Oh, I mean, not... It's the Punisher, you know, the character who hates cops, but the cops identify with.
Yeah.
Apparently, his kid once asked him why he'd done the movie. He said, to buy you shoes. His kid said, I don't need them that badly.
That's awesome.
I mean, not wrong. But I mean, if you watch a bad... Oh, it's this level! Where everything's 4 times its size. I, McMurray, have a 5.15 inch penis. For those of you who watch Letterkenny. But, like, if you watch a bad Bob Hoskins movie, you can watch a good Bob Hoskins movie afterwards. And... Do I have it? I don't think I have a hammer. Do I have a hammer? A hammer in the morning. I don't have a hammer. I do have... So let's use a mushroom. I did see the post, so I will check that out, because, like, I don't remember that.
My mind was drawing a blank, despite it being like what we called it in our house forever. This is the Edith Ann level.
The Edith Ann level.
So my mom won second place in a beauty contest in high school. And for her talent, she did eat the thing. Because my mom was adorable. I mean, a lot of other things also, but adorable.
Yeah, I'll check out the Discord after the stream to see that, because there's a lot of ads that I remember just like, man, this is... Like, there was a game called Death Trap Dungeon, and it was a game where I think this is the game, where you were a bad guy, and you were building up this dungeon to stop the heroes from getting to you. So it's like you had to... But, like, the ad was a guy with, like, whip marks all over his perfectly sculpted body, and he's very oiled up, chained to a wall with what was clearly a very early 90s dominatrix. Leather leotard, like, fishnets, whip, hair tied back in a high ponytail, is tight enough to where it's probably ripping her scalp off. Like,
she's giving herself her own facelift.
Yes. Like, elbow-length leather gloves.
Oh, yeah.
With, like, wristbands that had spikes on them. She had a spiked collar, black lipstick, heavy black eye. Like, and, like, her...
Hello.
She had, like, knee-high boots that were, like, stiletto heels, and she's, like, standing on, like, someone, like, very, like, this was somebody's fetish. And they're like, because, like, there's, like, if it's the game that I think it is, it was more cartoony than anything else. There was nothing sexual in the game, but the ad, super sexual. And I'm like...
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s, you see.
Yeah. Sorry. You said fetish, and my brain just went in another direction. So...
I mean...
There was a community meal that the church did, like, you're free for anybody in the community, cookout, like, I made cheesecake, whatever. Actually, my lip is kind of raw because when I made 2 different cheesecakes, one was diabetic friendly and one was really not. And the one that was really not had pineapple and papaya. And you had to put, like, crushed pineapple in it. But, like, only half a cup. But I had, a can. And so I just ate the rest of the can. So my lip is raw. Since pineapple's the fruit that eats you back. I'm also the fruit that eats you back.
We have someone who just popped in and said, man, Game Grumps fell off. Just kidding, love the stream. Which was perfect timing for the I'm the fruit that eats you back. Because that sounds like...
Bienvenue, Power Bottoms.
Bienvenue.
But I was headed downstairs to the kitchen to help out with something. I was carrying chairs. And there were 2 kids kind of hanging out, like... So the yard is up here, and I'm walking down the stairs into the kitchen here. So the kids are up here, and Cody, one of the members of choir, was standing there talking to them. And all I got was something about shoes, and then Cody going, no, that's a fetish. We'll just pass on that one. And I have no idea what happened, except this was like to 2 8-year-olds. There was another adult somehow involved in the conversation, so I'm pretty sure it was one of those, like, nod to the adult conversation, just barely skimming over the kids' heads. But it was, I'm
gonna say,
I stopped.
I was gonna be terrified if an 8-year-old kid said, no, that's a fetish, let's skip over. I'm like, man, I need to start fucking drinking.
But yeah, I can also be the fruit that eats you back.
I mean, you are the fruit that eats you back, and that's okay. Oh god, got stunned.
Well, I've heard reports that it's better than okay. Ladies.
I feel like the don't threaten me with a good time.
I don't know how, speaking of the Game Grumps, I somehow ended up being both Aaron and Dan tonight. But here we are.
Oh, I can't jump on him when he's upside down? That's a sentence.
I mean, you can. Just be careful of the ergonomics of the situation.
I mean, don't tempt me. I'll do what I want.
I mean, they make wedge phones for a reason.
Sex furniture. Huh.
Yeah. So, yeah. I had friends in college. Well, a friend and her husband, who was a friend / creep, who I tried to not. Is an asshole. But they were very open about their sex life and sexuality and stuff, which is fine. Although their kid was around for a lot of those conversations. Whatever. But they did. They got the whole suite of sex furniture. And, like, we're bragging about it. I took a nap on, once it was laid out in a certain way. Like, I took a nap on it at one point. I had a sheet draped over it.
I haven't watched the show, but a clip popped up on YouTube. It was from young Sheldon. And it's it's later on in the series, because he's a teenager at this point. But they're trying to figure out sleeping arrangements because his older brother knocked up his girlfriend who was like 6 years older than it. Like, he was barely 18 and he hooked up with like a 22-year-old, something like that. Like, it was. So she had just given birth, and they're trying to figure out sleeping arrangements for the family. So it's like, okay, Grandma will be in this room, Dad will be out in the garage. She's like, why do I get the garage? And it's like, going back and forth. It's like it's either you or the baby or the old lady gets the garage. And then Sheldon's brother's like, well, why don't we take Mom and Dad's room? And he's like, do you really want to sleep on the mattress you were conceived on? He's like, that mattress is 18 years old? Like, it's still good. And then it's like, okay, you get to sleep out in the garage. He's like, you get to sleep out on the mattress that my daughter was conceived. The 18-year-old's like, and I'm just like, nope. Baby is Mr. Neal.
One of my former roommates and still very dear friend, when I met him, he was still sleeping on the same mattress that he had had since childhood. Since zygotehood, because it was the mattress he was conceived on. And I was like, honey. So, we bought him a new bed. I mean, mostly because at that point it was like a 24-year-old mattress and he had severe back problems, but also...
No. Anyway, that's what we're going to end this.
Yeah. What's a little, like, sullied mattresses between friends?
I mean... You're a delight.
I am. Did you see your dad posted that on his dad posted a picture of a t-shirt that had possum on it that just said, I am a delight. And I was like, I am. Thank you.
So yeah, Jess is a delight. Anyway, yeah, that's about time for the stream. I've got Unicorn Overlord going up. I didn't do much last week because of work. So not much is also going up this week because I'm building back up the backlog for recording. Next week it will go back up as normal. Mostly because I want to have that done by July, so that game is finally done. Anything else?
I got shit.
I didn't do shit.
I don't know shit about fuck, my man. Yeah, no, I just might have more interesting stories about interactions between wide-ranging age groups.
No, I'm just going back to the Starship Troopers. I'm doing my part. I didn't do shit. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week, same hat time, same hat channel, Wednesday 7:30 Eastern. If I do have to cancel or delay for any reason, I will post about it in the Discord. Go check out the Discord. I had a dream that someone said they couldn't connect to the Discord because the link was bad. So please, if you're not part of the, go check it out just so that you can tell me if it's bad or not. Because I will give it a spanking. Don't threaten me with a good time. Anyway,
that's what he does for a good time, is he spanks hyperlinks.
I mean,
you gotta leave work at work, homie.
I was gonna say, I do IT work professionally. I don't just spank hyperlinks, I spank laptops.
It's the whole damn machine.
I'll show you spanking the whole damn machine.
I'm very tired. Have you noticed?
Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Like I said, hang out in the Discord. I post really weird shit in the memes category, and very rarely do I post anything else, unless something weird pops up. So, go check that out. But,
in which case it is also weird shit, just a different kind.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like Baskin Robbins, but every flavor is just weird shit. Just different types of weird shit.
And that's why we're friends.
31 flavors of weird shit. Oh, on that note, take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.